Hey everyone, Eric from Teachers Talking Tech here. So there's one thing that I love more about the new activities feature than anything else. And what it is this little button right here, Add Example. So let me tell you why I love this so much. So let's say I am teaching reading and I want my kids doing an activity while I'm teaching a small group. Well, we know that the kids can do an activity by doing instructions, and attaching a template helps them too. But one of the things about them doing these activities that I like when I can actually teach the lesson to them via video as well, right? I like to screencast the video for them. So I'm actually doing some instruction and then they are completing the task. So the add example button, here's what makes it so awesome. You can add something in here to teach the kids. So let me give you an example. So if I'm teaching the kids problem and solution, I can, say, hey, we're going to use enemy pi, right? Well, what I can do is I can actually, when I say add example, you can see it says to add a link. Now, I'm going to switch to Chrome here. Okay, there's enemy pi. Now I can tap on enemy pi. All right, and now that I'm watching it, there's the link for enemy pi. So I'm going to copy that link. I'm going to go back to Seesaw. And I'm going to post that link to the example. Okay? There we go. So now what I have a video, I've got the instructions, and I've got a template that looks like this that I attached. What was the problem? How did Dad solve it? And it looks like I need to do a little more work there because it's hard to see that. But anyway, by the way, I made this in Buncee, but you can make this in Google Slides or anything you want to use. So there is my template for the kids to use. All right. Now here's what it looks like to the kids when I go ahead and preview this. Okay. So let me go ahead and share this. Now let's say that I'm a student and I'm going to respond to this. You tap on the response. Here's what they see. Okay. Now the one thing you have to get them used to looking at the directions first. So they tap up in the blue bar. Here come the directions. So the first direction is watch the video enemy pi. Now they just tap on that picture of the video, and then up comes the video. Okay, so now they can watch that video of enemy pi. When they're done, they tap on the X, and now they can listen to the directions again, tap on the X again, and then they can answer what was the problem and how did Dad solve it. So this is an example where I'm using a video that was already created and just linking it. And then my kids can watch that video and then respond. How great is that? So another way you could use this is if you create your own screencasts. So I use an app called Viddle, and I think Viddle is an awesome way to record a screencast for kids. Some people might use Educreations. You might use Screencastify. There's lots of different ways to record. But here's an example. I made a video called adding 10 to a number, adding 100 to a number. And so this video just, I just use a whiteboard. And I talk to the kids about the different tricks. So here's kind of what it looks like if I fast forward a little bit here. Okay, so I'm explaining this strategy. So let's say that I wanted kids doing this while I'm meeting with a small math group. Okay, so let me pause the video here. And what I would do, this is in Google Drive, by the way. I saved this to Google Drive so I can reuse it. So I'm going to go ahead and I am going to share this link. So I'm going to say copy link. Okay, now I'm going to head back to Seesaw and I'm going to create an activity. So now I can say this is adding 10 to a number or whatever you want to call it. All right, I'm not going to type the instructions, but you can imagine what they would look like, right? Watch the video would be the first one. And then after I said watch the video, I would say, I want you to give me an example. So what I like about this is here's my add example. I tap the link again. There's the link to Drive, which by the way, if you're using Google Drive, make sure you make it a public or link shared link to this because otherwise it's going to say to your kids they don't have permission to watch this. So make sure you've shared it appropriately. Okay, so now I've shared this video. So if you can imagine my kids going in here, they can watch this video. Okay, I don't really need a template on this one because my kids can share however they like. But what my directions would say is to go ahead and watch this video, and then I want you to teach me how to add either 10 to a number or 100 to a number. And so now your kids can teach that back to you after they watch the video. So on their end, it would look like this. They'd go in there, they would tap to watch the directions. They could tap right on that picture to watch my video teaching them how to do the skill. Then they would back right out of it, and then they could draw it or record, depending on what device you're using, to teach me back that they understand what I taught them. Now, I think this is so much more valuable than a worksheet or something else where your kids are just doing it independently, because you're cloning yourself, and while you're teaching one small group, those kids are watching a video of you teaching a different concept, and maybe it's a review or something else new, and then they're responding to it. So you can do a quick formative assessment to see, hey, who got that, the skill that I taught them that way. So recording your screen is even easier on iPad now, because in iOS 11, you can do a screen recording. This is the first time you've ever been able to do this, and I love it. You could also do this with Screencastify or QuickTime for Mac. So if you're not using an iPad, you can still do this and record your screen, but I just wanted to show this. I'm using an app called Capture by TechSmith. I find that it works better than the screen recording that's just built into iOS 11, and it's free. So what I would do is I would start this broadcast, make sure my microphone audio is on down there at the bottom. Then once I hit record, I would jump right into Seesaw. Now you can see the @it sort. Maybe that's the one I'm trying to teach, okay? So I would pretend like I was a student and open it up like I was going to do the response. Now remember, right now it's recording my screen. So I could go ahead and I could explain this sort to my kids right now, and I'm saying, okay, this is it, fit, and sit. And I could actually show them how to do the sort. I don't even need to turn it in or anything, right? So I showed them how to do it. I tap my home button twice, and I tap stop on the screen capture, and then it will save it. So now that I've taken that screencast from Seesaw, right? I screencasted myself doing the sort. Now I go into capture, and I would save it to my camera roll. Once it's in your camera roll, you can edit it further or just leave it how it is. And then I can upload it to Seesaw, and I can add it right to that activity. So I would edit my activity, go right in there, click Add Example, and I can take right from my camera roll that screencast that I just made, and my kids can watch it. Now for me, I just like this so much because it allows me to instruct, it allows me to clone myself, and I'm in 2 spots in my room at once. And everything's all in one app. I don't have to ask them to go and watch the video in one app and then go to Seesaw and do another app. It's all right there. The directions for the activity and the activity itself. I hope